again, my fascinating Renaissance friends. Welcome to episode 123. And this is Miss Malu, your life coach, your fellow sojourner in the autumn of our life. Okay? So, what breaks love apart? Okay? The destroyers of long lasting relationship, part two. Okay, we've started these things about long-lasting relationship because, as I've mentioned in episode 120, this is our 42nd anniversary month, and I'm pausing from the usual, episodes we have, and we've started, philosophy being a practical way of living the good life. We're living it we're setting it apart, until I finish these 5 episodes because I feel that, after 42, okay, long, fulfilling, satisfying years together, I am beginning to see that there's a science behind it, and our love story actually backs the science. Okay, we started with the 5 builders of long-lasting relationship, and last episode we talked about the antithesis of it, which are destroyers, and we said that the first one is phobbing, or shortcut for phone snubbing. Really, the cell phone now, instead of being a tool for intimacy and closeness, this is a tool for separation. And the second is the demand withdrawal cycle, which is really the silent treatment, and all of that. Now we're going to take builder as the destroyer number three, and that is aggression and abuse. It makes a lot of sense. Okay, research is clear. Any form of aggression, it says, verbal, emotional, physical, sexual, financial, yeah, right, financial, corrodes safety and satisfaction. Emotional abuse, in particular, okay, leaves deep scars. Constant criticism, hostility, belittling, okay, a relationship without safety cannot sustain love. Here, the principle is simple but vital. Love and harm cannot live in the same space. Okay, my husband and I just dealt with a case like that. One of the people in our small group, where the husband constantly belittles the wife, and the wife have had enough, and she experienced a nervous breakdown and was rushed to the hospital in the emergency, and the doctor said there's nothing physically wrong with you, and then referred her to a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist very easily diagnosed her, as having a nervous breakdown. And one of the things that was prescribed, besides being given, a medicine, to try and calm her down, is not see her husband, or bottom line, to leave her husband, which she did. Okay, for her sanity and for her safety. Okay? Now, in our 42 years, this is one destroyer that never got, beyond a knock, like a knock on the door. We've told you about the second destroyer, which is demand withdraw cycle, and we nip that in the in the bud. This tried to, but we never allowed it to get past, the knock on the door. Well, basically, the two of us were raised by decent parents, by decent families. My husband, especially, is a fine gentleman, really. Okay, I can say that over and over again. He will never hurt a woman. He may kick the door, or he may smash a man's face who is disrespecting his wife. He can do that, okay, and he could, he could duel them, into combat in combat ways, but he will never hurt a woman. Okay, well, I am blessed, with a husband like that. So I have never felt not safe with him. Okay, he's very protective of me. He cherished me, but I guess that if if there was any attempt to raise his fist on me before it ever lands, okay, on any part of my body, I'm out of there in a jiffy. Because I was raised by parents who told me that I should never agree to any person, especially a husband or a boyfriend, to mistreat me, especially physically, sexually, and definitely emotionally and verbally. So I was raised up to be strong in that regard. And all of my past boyfriends have never really attempted to do that, because even before they became my boyfriend, hence I sense already how they were raised up. And so my husband was raised the same way by his parents, treat women with respect. So I can't say much about that. It never figured out in our relationship. Okay, destroyer number 5 is okay, uh, infidelity. Okay, whoa, this is a big one. In fact, in my list is destroyer number 3. I just landed on destroyer number 4, which is aggression and abuse, because I had cases like that. So it's very, very fresh in my mind. Okay, across cultures, studies confirm infidelity remains one of the top reasons relationships break apart. It damages trust at the deepest level. Okay, risk factors include low commitment, opportunity, and insecure attachment. Healing is possible, but it requires transparency, humility, and often professional guidance. Okay, so um, I am Filipino, and I was raised up in the culture and tradition of the Philippines, where machismo is revered or even accepted and tolerated. What do I mean by that? Like, men can do it, meaning men can gallivant, men can have affairs, husbands can have queridas or mistresses, but not women, but not wives. Okay, growing up in that kind of culture, has made me rebellious, because at a very early age, I never bought into that. I had a very loving father. My father was a very loving, very protective, very responsible father, but he bought into the culture. And so all his brothers had second families, had girlfriends aside from their wives and their families, me and my sisters. Okay, and he would always tell me, as long as your husband goes home to you, okay, provides for the needs, for your needs and the children, and will always be there for special occasions. You just have to allow him, allow him to do all of these things. I said, no, Dad. I said, I love you very much. I respect you. Okay, I obey you because that's what is specified. But I will never marry someone like you. And he was stunned. And I said that when I was in college. And he was shocked. I said, why? It's because I never bought into that. If you are committed, you're committed. If you don't love mom anymore, leave us and go to your queridas. Oh, I won't leave you. I will not leave you. That's not being responsible. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care, Dad. Okay, if mom, has bought into that, and she is now a martyr of a wife, because for us, the family, because that's how it is, keep the family intact. Don't leave a husband who is philandering. I will never do that. To begin with, I will never marry someone like that, someone like you. And, he never really brought it up again. And so we really, really are committed to being faithful to one another. Okay? And so we're blessed in that way. We never had to deal with that because intentionality, is the key here. Okay? And the last destroyer, insecure attachment. Finally, researchers note that insecure attachment patterns, whether anxious clinging or avoidant withdrawal, you don't want to be very close because you don't want to be hurt if he leaves you and things like that, so you preempt by being cold. Okay, predict lower relationship satisfaction. So, anxious partners often fear rejection and spark conflict. The drama syndrome. Avoidant partners shut down and refuse closeness. Both create instability. Okay? So I guess, again, we are blessed because we didn't have to deal with this. Okay, then. So, recap. Let's gather the five destroyers of love: long lasting relationship, fobbing or phone snubbing, demand withdrawal, call us the cycle, infidelity, aggression, insecure attachment. So, my dear friends, no one is immune, okay, to any of these, okay? These destroyers may creep into the relationship in small or big ways, okay, but awareness is power. Okay, that's why we're discussing about this. Okay, when the moment we notice, we make the decision to nip it in the bud. Remember, it's never too late. Okay, so which one of these destroyers have you had to deal with in your own relationship? Let's engage. Okay, give me a comment, and then we can continue the conversation. Okay, in our next episodes, the next two episodes, we're going to put them side by side and come up with what we call principles to guide us, right? To really to really have long lasting, relationships. So we're celebrating 42 years together. All right, so we're counting the years. Like, how old will we be if we will celebrate our golden, an anniversary? So that will be 8 years from now. And until how long, we don't know. But sure, we are intentional, about it. So stay with me until then. If this resonates with you, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's continue the conversation. Okay, guys. Until then, this is Malu Cervantes, my season of life, 60 years and beyond, saying adieu.